thanks to the explosive force of cannon fire, the French were close to victory in this century-long war. But in a final grasp at power, the English dispatched a fresh army, equipped with their tried and tested longbows. Formigny would be a trial of old versus new, to determine the fate of France.
Alrighty, welcome to 1450. In the last gasps of the 100 Years' War, England clung to its territories in the north of France, sending a vast army to defend them. At Formigny, it would meet the force of France's momentum head-on.
English commander Sir Thomas Kyriel sent a large expedition to crush the French in Normandy. The village of Carentan was directly in their path.
What? The heck?
Massively outnumbered, the French skirmishers near Carentan would give their lives to weaken the English. Bravely, the French skirmishers could only slow the English advance. The main body of the French army finally arrived in the river valley. The French now needed to locate and destroy the English army, but they would face a well-entrenched enemy with several local garrisons.
Voyons les commandements qui nous adviennent. Ici, sommes faites votre commandement. Soyez prestes pour les commandements. J'obéis à votre Soudain, car il faut envoyer tout à tir. Allons, nous dérouiller. On va les joyeux, j'entends. Soyez prêts, pourquoi? Reste tous avoués. On va les crier. Soudain. Suivez le roi, on va les crier. Soudain. Les coups de dos.
The French destroyed the garrison at Relic.
Je fais comme il me plaît. Alors, arbalétrie. Arbalétrie. Pilier, en ordonnant. Voyons. Sargent pour plus que fait notre commandement. Soyez. Alors, suivez le courroie, arbalétrie. Soyez. Arbalétrie. Serviquez des deux. Soudain. Nous à l'archon. Qui vous avouez. Je fais vos commandements. 6 hommes soldés pour besoigner. En absence. Alors, arbalétrier. Avant. Soyez J&Q. Tout estrier qui sera fait selon votre commandement. Arbalétrier. Suivez le courroie, arbalétrier. Voyez, j'obéis à votre arbalète. J'écoute, votre est bien clair. J'attends les commandements. Et les leçons, les commandements.
I mean, we are finally getting to a point where RTS game developers dare to give you more units than 10 at a time. I mean, the game can handle much more than this. It's a shame that the population limit is still 200, that's just low. But it's okay, for now. The game will support modifications, so maybe we can push the limit a little bit in the future.
French forces found a detachment of the English army, attacking the town of Ballon. If they could stop the attack, they might gain valuable resources. With the English attack on Boulogne halted, the citizens moved to support the French army.
Soyez précis. Correille, envoyez leur balance immense. Dépêchez-moi à l'archon. En archon, Coustilier.
Oh, we can upgrade now. Oh, that's
Soyez coués.
awesome.
Commandement.
Okay. Okay. Reload time. That's probably the best out of them. Range damage type.
Prêt pour faire les commandements.
No? Oh. Oh, the good stuff. Melee armor of all cavalry by 4. That's strong. Now we're going with that. Spearmen gain attack speed. Sell food. Okay, so we can get one more upgrade out of this. We're going with fire damage. So we can destroy buildings faster.
Soudain, envoyez. Voyons les commandes. Si sera vous, quel est votre plaisir? Voilà, je fais votre commandement. Voyons les Coustiliers, envoyez-moi un soyez à l'archon Coustilier, nous allons. En archon Coustilier. Coustilier, en ordonnance. Nous allons. Piquez les deux. Dievos à moi. Piquez les deux. Je suis archer. Soyez coués. Les Coustiliers, nous allons.
Let's see what's here. Maybe more gold.
Coustilier, en ordonnance. Alors, les Coustiliers sont prêts. En arçon, Coustilier. Coustilier, nous allons. Ainsi soit fait. Votre était bien clair. Les soudats. Ainsi soit fait.
Yes! Oh, perfect! Finally! Healing! Oh dear Lord, yes, please! Ah, now we're good. Now I can win this entire map. I can macro this. So, healing. Goodness gracious.
Prêt pour les commandements, Soudain. Fais ici les commandements.
I mean, charge damage. Either we go for range damage for our archers and crossbowmen, or we're going for charge damage. I mean, 12 is a lot. 12 is a lot. We have a lot of
Ouais, j'attends les commandements.
cavalry.
Nous allons avoir les commandements.
Soyez advançons,
Voyez bien.
Où donc m'envoyez-vous?
Paix, compagnons. Si les commandements. Soyez si nos caresses nous inquiètent.
Soyez advançons, fratrie mei.
Soyez arbagés.
Tantos nos motivator.
Alors, nos cartes, écoute,
Soyez advançons, fratrie mei.
si tel est notre bon plaisir. Soudain, nos terrestres sont morts. Arbalètes et morts. Ainsi sera fait. Nos destriers rongent leur frein. Oyez bien les commandements, Soudain. Ainsi soit fait.
Let's heal. And then we're going in there, and then we're going to demolish the tower.
Prest sont vos frères.
Prêt pour les commandements.
Soyez prest, mes frères.
Dois-je rider?
Prest sont vos
Voyons, nous allons avoir les commandements. Arbalétrier à bord. J'y pourvoué tout à tir. J'y pourvoué. Commandement, gloire et victoire seront à nous, Soudain. Je fais le commandement. Les Soudans sont prêts. Allons donc, tenir-les. Les Soudans sont prêts. Je bats et artiste. Qui est qui?
Prest advançons, fratrie mei.
Nos carrés sont prêts pour frère. Gloire et victoire seront tous. Ne prenez pas, avancez. Nous attendons Soudain. Arbalétrier avant.
Soyez prêts, Jacques.
Arbalétrier, soyez suspect. Nous attendons envoyer de la pouée. 605 lutteurs prisonniers. Nos carrés tous Nos carrés, j'ai pourquoi tout à dire. J'ai pourquoi. Je t'obéis. Je fais votre commandement. Allons, arbalétrier. Allons. Suivez le courroie, arbalétrier. Allons, arbalétrier. À bord. Les Soudans. Les arbalètes sont...
Yeah, we lost one.
The English base at Saint-Sauveur fell to the French forces, but the enemy army was still at large.
Soyez prêts. Soudain, les Soudans sont... Je fais votre commandement.
I'm not a big fan of the resource system. Stone, wood, and gold, that's it. That's a bit mediocre. And I'm also not a big fan of this overlapping torch throwing system. Just because 40 guys are throwing a torch doesn't mean that your building is collapsing in 1 second. That's not how reality works. That's not how this game should work. That's a bit... Yeah. Yeah, this is not the perfect RTS. It's a decent one. I like this system with the documentaries and giving you a historical vibe, but there's still a long way to go. Maybe selling the food was a mistake. Maybe we need food.
Voyez bien que sont les commandements. Ainsi soit fait. Déforrez vos armes. Juste à l'ennemi. Qui vous savez? Votre instinct est bien clair. Prêt pour Astier. Avant. Cornoyons en mesquine. Fiez-vous à moi. Votre instinct est bien clair. L'ennemi nous prend en garde. J'attends. Votre instinct est bien clair. Voyez bien. Laissons-les ainsi soit fait. Tirez à part main. Je fais votre commandement. Fiez-vous à moi. Allons le combat. Voyez bien les commandements.
Soyez prest, mes frères. Avance.
J'attends les commandements. Prêt pour les commandements.
Soudard, il y a ici de nouvelles commandements.
Je vais devant, ridez derrière.
Je fais votre commandement. Oui, je ridais.
Nous allons avoir les... Avez-vous commandement pour moi? Voyez bien les commandements, Soudard. Tiens-vous à moi.
Oh lol, I was expecting the path to continue here and it just stops. It's a shame this game has elevation, but it's used so scarcely. The elevation is almost non-existent. It's a shame.
Prêt pour les commandements. Nous délaissons ces lieux. Écoutez, soyez en... Car je fais comme il faut. Voyons, on va les trier. Nous attendons les commandements.
Presse.
Soyez...
Soyez Avanson, fratrimé.
Soyez coués. À l'arçon.
Soyez prêts, j'incline à votre volonté.
Soudard, nous avons...
The French forces located Kyriel's English army at a river crossing near the town of Formigny.
Soyez prestes pour les commandements. Serpillier, en ordonnance. Nous allons. À la pique des deux. Les croustiliers, nous allons. Soyez je fais votre commandement. Vous défiez vos avoués. Chaque croustilier, en ordonnance. Nous allons. Ainsi soit fait.
Wait, that's it? All of this is black area? We can't go in there? Huh. Okay. Well, can I cross the river somewhere? I mean, obviously here is a bridge, and I guess we need to we can get in here. Oh, we cannot take on that army right now. If we try to attack through this bridge, over this bridge, the longbow units are going to demolish us. So we're going to have to find a way around them.
Nous allons.
Presque, sauvons-moi. Si
Soyez prêts.
presque, si tel est votre bon plaisir.
Ah, elevation. But how can I get there? Maybe here? Is there anything missing? Or can we go... I mean, they can't be serious.
Ainsi soit fait. En arceau au coustilier. Elles sont prêts pour voyons ces copeaux. Les coustiliers. Soyez prêts, JQ. Arbalétrier. À l'arceau. Piquez les deux.
Presque, avançons.
Maybe we need to destroy the towers.
Avançons, fratrie.
Several of the Bureau brothers' heavy guns and other forces arrived to help.
Soyez prêts. Tantos nos faut-il avancer.
Engin de siège à Will, à par main.
Soyez prêts.
Les engins de siège.
Well, now we're talking.
Engin de siège, ça faute.
Soyez. Allons, nos arbalètes. Joyeux. Vous destriez-vous à moi.
Tout est ordonné. Les engins se meuvent. Les engins de siège sont prêts.
Even with their cannons, the French faced the difficult task of engaging the well-positioned English army.
Prêts, frères.
Engin de siège assis. Les engins se meuvent. Engin de siège, ça faute à victoire. Ils sont anéantis. Nos accomplis sont vos ordonnances. Oui, à par main. Et quasi assouvis.
The French attacks succeeded in drawing the English front line out of position and across the river. Suffering losses, the English front line retreated back across the river.
Nous attendons vos commandes.
Avançons, fratrie.
The French received word that their Breton allies had arrived with their knights and horsemen. Now the two armies could coordinate. The Bretons saw an opportunity to attack the English from the back.
Nous attendons, chevalier, en ordre. Je vous obéis. Voyons les que je fais vos commandements. Will.
Tout est ordonné.
Presque.
Prêt.
Posez-vous. Voyez les commandements.
Soyez prêts, frères. Tantos nos faut-il avancer.
Reste soum pour la bataille. Envoyez, chevalier. Qu'ainsi soit.
As the Bretons attacked, the English had no choice but to pivot their front line, opening their flanks to attack from the French.
champ nous attend. Ce sera pour moi au nord. C'est à au nord.
Soyez quoi? Allons donc.
Nos caras, suivez le...
À l'archon. Prêche pour les commandements.
Piquez de deux. Juste...
Tout est engin de siège, ça faut aller. Nos accomplissons vos ordres.
Preste, chevalier, on voit pour la gloire.
Les soldats.
Nos gardes sont les engins de siège.
Beset by the French and Bretons, the English beat a hasty retreat toward Formigny.
Nope.
The English survivors entered Formigny. The French would have to take this town to secure victory.
Les engins de siège sont prêts. Ainsi soit-il.
Soyez prêts.
Tout est ordonné. Ils vont pâtir de notre île. Engins, c'est l'heure de trêve.
We forgot something here. Pretty sure of that.
Oui, la barmain.
Just so we could have gone through there.
C'est quasi assouvi.
Maybe that would have made things easier.
Ils sont anéantis. Engins, c'est l'heure de trêve. Ça, engins, en la voie. Va ne pas être votre trêve. En arçon. Les engins se meuvent. Ça, engins, en la voie. Les engins se meuvent. C'est quasi assouvi.
Nos arbalètes, levez votre commandement.
Engin de siège, ça faut aller. Ainsi sera fait. C'est une merveilleuse victoire. Ça, engin, en la voie. Ainsi soit-il. Les engins se meuvent.
Voyons, nos gardiens, je vous
Tout est ordonné. Ils vont partir de notre île.
maître de capitaine.
C'est quasi assouvi. Ils vont partir de notre île. Ça, engin, en la voie. Engin de siège, ça faut aller. Engin, c'est l'heure de trêve. Ça, engin, en la voie. Allons, dégagez. Tout est ordonné. Ainsi soit-il. Les engins se meuvent. Nous accomplissons vos ordonnances. Bonne paix, votre trait. Ainsi sera fait. Engin de siège assis. Engin, c'est l'heure de trêve.
Arbalétrier, j'ai pourvoué tout à tir. Arbalétrier, avant, et fait.
Les engins de siège sont prêts. Oui, la barre ruineuse.
Ça le foie ici.
Les engins de siège sont prêts.
Arbalétrier, ça s'il souhaite.
Engins de siège assis.
Wait, what? Capture? What? Oh.
With the last English army destroyed and the gates of Formigny thrown open, the French force in Normandy was victorious. Their well-organized forces and superior firepower had brought the arduous 100 Years' War closer to its conclusion.
Castillon. End of the war. The French victory at Formigny had finally ousted the English from Normandy, but the English retained a foothold in Gascony, the city of Castillon. In 1453, Charles VII once again employed his vast artillery forces and besieged the city. With some 300 cannons and handguns, his army was poised to end the war. Meanwhile, the English commander at Castillon was under pressure to order a direct charge at the massing French forces. Against his better judgment, he succumbed to the goading and ordered the charge. His gamble ended in disaster. The English were not met with an unrelenting barrage of French firepower, each cannon shot knocking down a dozen men. Reinforcements trickled in, but they too fell to the merciless onslaught. The 100 Years' War had come to a resounding end, and Charles could begin rebuilding his resilient nation.
Before the invention of printing in the 15th century, books were painstakingly copied by hand. The finest were illuminated with brilliant colours and real gold. Illuminated text wasn't just for show. Gilded illustrations decorated important passages to highlight their significance.
Gold was used in many medieval manuscripts from early days because it was very expensive and it indicated that the manuscript itself was valuable. The light would reflect from candles or from the sunlight, and so it looked as though the book itself was illuminated. In medieval manuscripts, it looks as though this is solid gold. In fact, it's not. The gold itself is tissue thin.
The solid appearance is achieved by laying the gold on a cushion of plaster mixed with glue, called gesso.
By raising the gold from the surface of the skin, that means that it catches the light even more.
The glue in the gesso is softened by breathing on it.
We then have 3 seconds to get the gold on, and I'm using a burnisher, which is a polished stone, just to make sure that the gold sticks. Then the burnisher is used to polish the gold up. See, it's coming up now. So it's coming nice and shiny.
Next, the miniature is painted.
The base colour will be done first, then the tints and the shades will be added, and finally the white highlights and the outline, which lifts it and brings the whole thing to life.
The medieval paint box contained pigments from across the world, such as ultramarine from Afghanistan and orpiment gathered from volcanic craters.
It often took a long time to complete these medieval miniatures. This one between a month and 6 weeks, from start to finish.
An entire book could take a team of illuminators several years to complete. Many medieval manuscripts still survive today, fully preserved, with their colours just as vivid as the day they were illustrated.
A story this game is not telling us is a bit of background. Most copies were made in monasteries, monks, Catholic Church, and parchment was expensive, so it was often reused. And of course, everything or anything that the Catholic Church didn't deem, well, good enough was deleted to make place for religious stuff. Because of that, knowledge of an amount that we cannot comprehend too was lost in time, because monks were told, delete this, it's heathen stuff. You're gonna write the word of God upon this paper, you will stand. And because of that, we lost a shitload of knowledge. Well done, humanity. Okay, we've seen those videos, right?
Thanks to the explosion
Yep. Oh, wait.
at Formigny, the roar of cannon fire sounded the death knell for England's ambitions in France. King Charles and the Bureau brothers did not let up on the offensive, and in 1453, the English retreated across the Channel. France was finally at peace. More than 100 years had passed since the first English chevauchés had scorched the land. The iconic French knights who fought in those early days would not have recognized their own military a century later. The English longbow, once the scourge of France, was no match for French artillery in the last years of the war. And by 1453, France's border looked very different, growing to encompass territories once claimed by England and their allies. After enduring a century of conflict, France emerged as a transformed nation. The country and its people had persevered and unified into a kingdom that could defend itself. Against all odds, France had won the 100 Years' War.